Hey guys, it's Truth Tiger here, and I'm telling you guys, like, we gotta be kind to each other. We have to love our fellow. This is the baseline of all spiritual teachings. This is the baseline to do honor to God. And yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ himself said it, like, love your God and love your fellow. Like, that is the baseline. If there's two things you're going to do those two things. And he also said, how can you love your God if you don't love your fellow? So he's telling you, hey, you got to start. If you're not able to love the people around you, how can you love God? You have to have love within your heart. And this message I'm giving, you'd think it would be in all the churches and all the religious institutions, and you'd think in every church, every mosque, every synagogue, every, temple, whatever other religions do. You'd think this would be plaster on the walls. This would be hanging on the banisters. You'd think this would be everywhere. Love your fellow. Be kind to others. Help other people. You'd think this would be everywhere, but it's not. It's not. It's obscured. It's hidden, and it's almost an occulted piece of knowledge. It's almost this hidden, knowledge you have to uncover when it's the most basic thing in the world, which is just treat other people well, be nice to other people. Be kind, be forgiving, be patient, don't blow up on people. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect and I'm always kind to people and I'm always nice, but it's a core baseline that I aspire to. It really is. And when I look in the world, I don't see very many other people adhering to this principle. And when I look around me, I see people doing everything kind of but this. Anything but being kind to their fellow, And among religious people and also among social justice leftists, we will see this same exact behavior pattern where instead of being kind to their fellow, instead of trying to be understanding and be loving to others, they essentially hold up either a religious dogma or an ideology, and to them, being a good person is adhering to this religion or this ideology. That's what being good is to them. It's not about actually helping other people, being kind to other people, being patient with people. It has nothing to do with having any kind of love in your heart. It's all about, it's all about just adhering to the dogma. It's all about adhering to what people are telling them to adhere to. Yeah, you guys, there's no, it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like people deep down, they know this, but it's like they just don't, they just do not want to accept it. It's just something they don't want to jive with. Hold up a sec, you guys. And yeah, I'm telling you, solution to all the world's problems is going to be being kind to others. It really is. If we don't, we got to start there. We have to start there, you guys. If we don't start there, nothing's gonna work. Nothing's gonna happen. It's not going to amount to anything. It's not going to get us anywhere. It's just going to be a bunch of BS. And it's not a legalistic thing. I remember when I first heard that, I thought it was some thing where I had to, geez, people are driving crazy here, man. I thought it was something where you had to love your next door neighbor or something like that. And that's not what it means. It just means being a loving person, being kind and loving your fellow and all this stuff. It really is a simple message. And the path to enlightenment starts with love in your heart, you know. It really does. Like there's no enlightenment without that. You're not going to get yourself anywhere without that. And like, don't think you're going to get close to God without that. Like, don't think Jesus Christ is going to look at you and go, oh, this guy who treats people like a jerk but goes to church or whatever, oh, great. You know, he's going to say this person is not loving, they're not kind, they don't do anything good, so let's get rid of them. And a lot of movements and things in society seem to actually be like contrary to this. Like they're trying to actually get people more hateful and more divided and more angry. And, you know, because when we look at the power structures of society, they're very cult-like, you know, whether it's religions, whether it's the government, whether it's, I don't know, the military, whether it's the corporations, whether it's the educational institutions, whether it's all the liberalism and social justice. It all gets people in a very cult-like mentality where there are insiders and there are outsiders, and the insiders are our friends and we hate the outsiders, and we are superior. We as insiders are superior to outsiders. And, you know, there's a culture of a lot of criticism and abuse, and, you know, it kind of ultimately, in the end of the day, takes advantage of people's low self-esteem and the childhood issues that we all kind of have, and gets people into this weird kind of mob mentality. And once they start having love in their heart and loving their fellow and loving those around them, they will get out of that mob mentality. They will get out of that cult mentality. But, you know, people, I mean, it's the Matrix, really, is what I should say. I mean, all that is the Matrix. It's the cult of society, the many cults of society. And people's families teach them to be jealous and envious. There's not enough to go around. There's not enough love to go around. And it gets people in this very selfish, angry, jealous state. And look, people pretend to be nice. They pretend to love their fellow, but deep down, they hate other people. And they have a very deep attitude of jealousy, hatred, and contempt toward others. And they have an attitude that there is not enough to go around, and that if they don't eat as much of the cake as possible, and then they'll never get any more. When it's like, hey, there's actually enough cake for everybody, and if we can all just share, you know, it'll actually be more for everybody. You know, that's actually how it ends up working, because when we share, we come together, we bounce ideas off each other, we kind of help each other out. Like, if you're trying to move a couch, you can't move a couch on your own. You kind of need your friend to help you out, you know? And, you know, there's things that are matters of leverage, where when you bring a couple people together, you know, that whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts, you know? When you put a bunch of metal and rubber and glass and, you know, whatever, when you put it all together in the proper way, you get a car. And that's way better than just that stuff sitting there on its own, you know? So, like we can come together and we can really form something great. But if we're too selfish and closed-hearted and angry and stuff, and again, not loving our fellow, not being kind to others, if we're too, you know, caught up on that, like the evil things in society, the Matrix, it's just going to get worse. You know, the Matrix won't be broken. People won't break out. Like, I mean, I'm serious, guys. This is a solution to, I mean, pretty much all of society's problems. At its very root, comes down to just being nicer to other people, treating other people better, you know? It really does. I mean, that's the core root of what we need to do to enact change and to fix this broken society that we have. And it's a big driver to why there are so many narcissists. There's other reasons for narcissism, like arrogance and delusion, and honestly probably demonic possession, but a big why this takes root and why this takes hold and why this gets in the very core is because of hatred for one's fellow, you know? that is the core reason why. It's because people are not able to look at one another and have that attitude of love and have that attitude of that's my fellow, that's my friend, that's my brother, that's my sister. They are very much unable to have that kind of an attitude toward that. And I just really wish people could orient themselves toward that. I really do. And I know that's where we have to start. But when you look at society, nobody else is saying it. It's like I am the only one saying it. I'm the only one speaking on this, you know, and there are some other people out there, but like not really. And people tend to kind of pigeonhole this. And a great example is Jesus says, love your fellow, and the Pharisees say, well, who is my fellow? And then that's when Jesus tells them the story of the Good Samaritan. And as you know, there is someone, maybe some of you guys don't know, that's okay, but there is someone, you know, out there traveling, and he gets beaten up and robbed and left by the side of the road. And a Levite walks by. A Levite crosses to the other side of the road. A priest, or a Kohen as it's called, also does the same thing. And then a Samaritan sees him and brings him home, bandages him up, leaves him at the inn, gives him a little money to kind of get him some food and carry him along, and does the right thing. And the idea is the Samaritan was more the lower class. The Samaritan was more like, you had the Jews, you had, you know, the Israelites, the Judeans, and you kind of had the Samaritans, and they were kind of a hanger-on people, or, you know, kind of a clinger-on people, if you will, you know, that were different, but were very closely connected. You could maybe think about the English and the Irish kind of back in the day as kind of a good example, you know. The Jews would be like the English, and the Samaritans would be like the Irish, just something like that. Or you could think about some people in the ghetto or the hood or the trailer park or whatever, you know, kind of as the Samaritans of our society. And the idea is that, like, the person's fellow was the one who, you know, did a good deed and helped someone out and was kind to that other person. And man, there is a big lack of that in our society, you guys. A huge lack of that. So yeah, guys, I'm probably gonna end the video here. Sorry the video was a little choppy. I had all this construction sites, people are driving weird, there's a bunch of cops out, the motorcycle cops. I wasn't trying to get a ticket, and yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, you guys, I just want to say, like, you know, love your fellow, even love your enemy. God be with us all. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. You know, like I love you guys all, and like I want everyone to be blessed. And like in this Chosen Ones community, like we gotta have cohesion, man. Like it's a motley crew of individuals. It's a little bit of a rough on the fringes kind of a thing, and we got a lot of characters in here. It's kind of like the Old West Saloon with all these cowboys and stuff, and we can't be having all these shootouts and stuff going on, you know, because I do see that happening. We have to kind of, we're a ragtag band of kind of, you know, scoundrels and criminals and, you know, whatever, and we're kind of the outlaws, but we have to work together and help each other out, and yeah, we all got to be on the same page. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. God be with you all, and yeah, I will see you next time.